Welcome back to the USA English Podcast. Hello, everyone. We're so happy you're practicing English with us today. I'm Erika.
And I'm Marco. Thanks for spending your time learning with us. We're here to help you improve your everyday English in a fun, natural way. In each episode, we have real conversations about everyday topics so you can hear how native speakers really talk.
That's right. We don't just give you word lists. We show you how to use English in real-life situations. Today's topic is very important: asking for help in English. This is something we all need to do, at work, at school, while traveling, or just in daily life.
Yes, and many English learners feel nervous about asking for help. They worry about being polite or using the right words. But don't worry. After this episode, you'll feel much more confident.
We're going to teach you 100 essential phrases you can use whenever you need help. These work in so many different situations.
So, if you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep making these videos for you.
Ready, Marco?
Absolutely. Let's begin. So, Erika, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thanks. I had a really productive morning. I finished preparing for this lesson early, so I had time to enjoy my coffee. How about you?
I'm fine, but a little tired, honestly. I stayed up late last night trying to fix my computer. It was running super slowly.
Oh no, did you figure out what was wrong?
Not really. I tried everything I could think of. Restarted it, closed all the programs, even watched some YouTube tutorials. Nothing worked.
So what did you do?
Finally, I asked my friend Mark for help. He's great with computers. He came over this morning and fixed it in about 10 minutes.
That's wonderful. See, sometimes we just need to ask for help. We can't do everything alone.
Exactly. I wasted 2 hours trying to fix it myself. If I had asked earlier, I would have saved so much time.
That's a perfect example for today's topic. What did you say to Mark when you asked him?
Let me think. I sent him a message. Hey, Mark, I'm having trouble with my computer. Could you help me out if you have time?
Perfect. That's a great way to ask. You explained the problem clearly, and you were polite.
Yeah, and Mark was happy to help. I think people usually like helping if you ask nicely.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Speaking of asking for help, I think this is one of the most useful skills in English because we all need help sometimes, right?
Definitely. Whether it's directions, computer problems, work questions, or understanding a word, we need to know how to ask.
So let's dive into our main conversation and talk about all the different ways to ask for help in English.
Okay, Erika, let's start with the basics. When should someone ask for help?
Good question. I think you should ask whenever you're stuck or confused. Some people wait too long because they feel embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. Like with my computer last night. I should have asked Mark right away.
Exactly. There's no shame in asking. Actually, asking for help shows you're smart because you know when you need support.
That makes me feel better. So what's the simplest way to ask for help?
The most basic phrase is just, "Can you help me?" It's simple, direct, and everyone understands it.
Can you help me? That's easy to remember. But is it polite enough for every situation?
For friends and family, yes, it's perfectly fine. But if you're talking to a stranger, your boss, or a teacher, you might want to be more polite.
What would be more polite?
You can say, "Could you help me, please?" Or, "Would you mind helping me?" The word could is more polite than can, and adding please always helps.
Oh, I see. So, could you help me, please, is more formal. What about, would you mind helping me? That sounds very polite.
Yes, it is. When you say, "Would you mind," you're being extra polite because you're asking if they mind doing something. It's like saying, "Is it okay if you help me?"
Got it. So I have 3 options. Can you help me for friends? Could you help me please for more polite situations? And would you mind helping me for very polite situations?
Perfect. You're already learning. Now, sometimes you don't want to ask directly. You want to be softer or more indirect.
What do you mean by indirect?
Instead of saying, help me, you might say, I need some help, or I could use some help. This is softer because you're not directly asking, you're just stating that you need help.
Oh, that's interesting. So if I say, I need some help with this project, the person will understand that I'm asking them.
Exactly, it's implied. And you can also say, I was wondering if you could help me. That's very polite and common in English.
I was wondering if you could help me. That sounds very natural. Can you give me an example?
Sure. Imagine you're at work and you need a colleague to explain something. You could say, Hi, Sarah. I was wondering if you could help me understand this report. I'm a bit confused about the numbers.
That's great. You explain what you need help with and why. That's really clear.
Yes, that's important. When you ask for help, try to explain what kind of help you need. Don't just say, Can you help me? And stop.
Right. So I should say, can you help me with my homework, or can you help me carry these boxes?
Perfect examples. Being specific makes it easier for the other person to say yes or no. They know exactly what you're asking for.
Okay, so we've covered how to start asking for help, but what if you need urgent help, like right now?
Good question. If it's urgent, you can say, I need your help right now, or This is urgent. Can you help me immediately?
Those sound pretty direct. Is that okay in a real emergency?
Yes, if it's a true emergency, being direct is fine. You can also say, Sorry to bother you, but I really need your help. Or, I hate to interrupt, but this is important.
Oh, I like those. Sorry to bother you, but I really need your help. That's polite, but also shows urgency.
Exactly. You're apologizing for the interruption, which is polite, but you're also making it clear you need help now.
What if someone is busy, like I can see they're working on something? How do I ask without being rude?
Great question. You can say, When you have a moment, could you help me? Or, I don't mean to interrupt, but could you help me when you're free?
When you have a moment, could you help me? That's respectful of their time.
Yes. And you can also ask, Are you busy right now? First. If they say yes, you can say, No problem. Can you help me later when you're free?
That's smart. You're checking first before asking. That way they don't feel pressured.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about asking for help in different specific situations. What if you're lost and need directions?
Oh, that happens to me all the time. I have a terrible sense of direction.
Me too, sometimes. So if you're lost, you can say, Excuse me, I'm lost. Could you help me find the train station? Or, Sorry to bother you, but I'm trying to find Main Street. Do you know where it is?
Those are good. You start with, excuse me, or sorry to bother you, which is polite. Then you explain you're lost and what you're looking for.
Right, and people are usually very willing to help with directions. Another phrase, I'm new here. Could you point me in the right direction?
Point me in the right direction. That's a nice expression. It means show me which way to go.
Right, it's very common. You can also say, Do you know how to get to the museum from here? Or, Which way is the nearest coffee shop? Those are more casual and friendly.
What if you need help understanding something, like instructions or information?
You can say, I don't understand this. Could you explain it to me? Or, This is confusing. Can you help me make sense of it?
Help me make sense of it. I like that. It means help me understand it.
Yes. You can also say, Could you clarify this for me? The word clarify means to make something clear or easier to understand.
So, could you clarify this for me is like saying, could you explain this more clearly?
Exactly. And if someone is explaining too fast, you can say, Sorry, could you slow down a bit? Or, I'm having trouble following. Could you explain that again?
Those are really useful. I need to use those phrases when people talk too quickly. What about if you need help with a physical task, like moving furniture or carrying something heavy?
You can say, Could you give me a hand with this? Or, Would you mind moving this table? It's too heavy for me alone.
Give me a hand is a casual way to say help me.
Yes, exactly. It's very common. You can also say, Could you lend me a hand? It means the same thing.
So, give me a hand and lend me a hand both mean help me. Those are easy to remember.
Yes. And if it's something heavy or difficult, it's good to mention that. Like, This box is really heavy. Could you help me carry it?
That makes sense. You're giving them a reason why you need help. What about asking for help at work? That can feel more formal.
Yes, workplace situations often require more polite language. You can say, I'm working on the Johnson project and I could use your expertise. Do you have time to help me?
I could use your expertise. That's a nice way to ask because you're complimenting them. You're saying they have special knowledge.
Exactly. People like to be recognized for their skills. You can also say, I'm stuck on this problem. Could I get your input? Or would you be able to assist me with this task?
Get your input means get your ideas or opinions, right?
Yes. And assist is a more formal word for help. So, could you assist me is more professional than can you help me?
Got it. So at work, I might say assist instead of help to sound more professional. What if you need help from your boss specifically?
With your boss, you want to be respectful and clear. You can say, do you have a moment to discuss something? First, you check if they're available. Then you can say, I'm having difficulty with the report. Could you give me some guidance?
Give me some guidance is good. You're asking for direction, not just answers.
Right. And you can say, I'd appreciate your advice on this matter, or could I schedule some time with you to go over this? Those sound very professional.
What if you're a student and you need help from a teacher?
Erika, students can say, I don't understand this topic. Could you explain it again? Or, I'm struggling with this assignment. Is there a time I could come to your office for help?
I'm struggling with means it's difficult for me, right?
Yes, it means you're having a hard time with it. You can also say, could I get some extra help after class? Or, I was absent last week. Could you help me catch up?
Help me catch up means help me learn what I missed. That's useful.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about asking for help with technology. That's something almost everyone needs these days.
Oh yes, like my computer problem. What are some good phrases for that?
You can say, my phone isn't working. Do you know what might be wrong? Or, I can't figure out how to use this app. Could you show me?
I can't figure out means I can't understand or solve it.
Right. You can also say, I'm having technical difficulties. Could you take a look? Or, this program keeps crashing. Do you know how to fix it?
Those are all really practical. What if you're in a store or restaurant and need help?
In a store, you can say, excuse me, I'm looking for the shoe section. Could you point me in the right direction? Or, I can't find what I need. Could someone help me? In a restaurant, you can say, excuse me, could we get some more water, please? Or, sorry, but I think there's a mistake with our order. Could you check?
Those are polite and clear. What about if you need help from a stranger on the street?
When asking strangers, always start with, excuse me, or pardon me. Then you can say, could you help me? Or, do you have a moment? So you might say, excuse me, do you have a moment? I'm looking for the nearest bank.
Perfect. You can also say, sorry to bother you, but could you tell me what time it is? Or, excuse me, do you know if there's a pharmacy nearby?
Those are great everyday phrases. What if you don't understand their question the first time?
You can say, let me rephrase that. Or, what I mean is, then explain it differently.
Rephrase means to say the same thing using different words.
Right. You can also say, maybe I didn't explain that clearly. Let me try again. That's good because you're taking responsibility, not blaming them.
What about if you need ongoing help, not just one-time help?
You can say, I might need your help several times this week. Is that okay? Or, could I come to you if I have questions?
That's considerate. You're asking permission for future help. What if you've already asked someone for help before and you need help again?
You can say, I'm sorry to ask again, but I need your help with something else. Or, I hate to keep bothering you, but could you help me one more time?
Those show that you're aware you're asking again. You're being respectful of their time. And you can also offer something in return. If you help me with this, I'd be happy to help you with something too.
Oh, that's nice. It's like teamwork. You can say, I could really use your help, and if you ever need anything, just let me know.
That sounds friendly and fair. What about if you're in a foreign country and English isn't your first language? How do you ask for help then?
That's a great question. You can be honest and say, I'm sorry, my English isn't perfect. Could you speak slowly, please? Or, I'm still learning English. Could you help me? People usually appreciate when you're trying to speak their language. They're often very patient.
Absolutely. You can also say, I don't know the word for this in English. Could you help me? Or could you write that down for me?
Writing it down is helpful. You can see the spelling and maybe understand better.
Yes. And you can say, could you show me on a map if you need directions? Or could you point to it if you're in a store? Those are practical solutions when language is a barrier.
What are some phrases to use when you need help urgently or in an emergency?
In an emergency, you can shout, help, or I need help. If it's serious, you can say, please call an ambulance, or I need a doctor. Those are direct and clear, which is important in emergencies.
Yes. You can also say, this is an emergency, or someone please help me. But remember, only use these in real emergencies. If you cry wolf, people won't take you seriously later.
What about when you just need a small favor?
For small things, you can say, could you do me a small favor? Or, this will only take a minute. Could you help me?
Do me a favor is a common phrase. It means help me with something small. You can also say, would you mind? For example, would you mind holding the door for me? Or would you mind taking a photo of us? People usually say yes to small requests like that.
Yes, they do. Now, it's also important to know how to respond when someone offers to help you.
If someone says, do you need help? You can say, yes, please, that would be great. Or, actually, yes, I'm having trouble with this.
What if you don't need help?
You can say, no, thank you, I'm okay. Or, I appreciate it, but I think I can manage. Always be polite, even when declining help. I appreciate it shows you're grateful they offered.
What if you need someone's permission to ask for help? Like asking if it's okay to ask them questions later.
You can say, is it okay if I come to you with questions? Or, would you be willing to help me if I get stuck? Those are polite because you're asking their permission first. They can say yes or no.
You can also say, I might need to pick your brain about something. Would that be okay?
Pick your brain is an interesting expression. It means to ask someone questions to get information or advice from them. It's like you're taking knowledge from their brain.
That's a funny image, but it makes sense. So I could say, can I pick your brain about marketing strategies?
Perfect. Now let's talk about some phrases that show appreciation when someone helps you. Always remember to thank people.
What are some ways to say thank you?
The basics are thank you so much, or I really appreciate your help. You can also say, that was so helpful, thank you. And if someone really saved you, you might say, you're a lifesaver.
Yes, that's common. It means they helped you in a very important way. You can also say, I don't know what I would have done without you. Or, you really helped me out. Thanks a lot.
Those show genuine gratitude. What about following up after someone helps you?
You can say, thanks again for your help yesterday. Or, I wanted to let you know that your advice worked. Thank you.
That's nice. You're updating them and thanking them again. People appreciate knowing that their help made a difference.
Okay, Erika, I think we've covered a lot of different ways to ask for help.
We really have. From simple phrases like, can you help me? To more complex situations like asking your boss or asking in emergencies. The key things to remember are be polite, be specific about what you need, and always thank people for their help.
And don't be afraid to ask. Everyone needs help sometimes. You know, Erika, while we were talking, we used many useful words and phrases. Let's go over some of the most important vocabulary from our conversation.
Good idea. I think learning these words will really help our viewers.
First word, embarrassed. This means feeling ashamed or uncomfortable about something. For example, some people feel embarrassed when they need to ask for help.
Oh yes, I definitely feel embarrassed sometimes. Like when I have to ask someone to repeat something 3 times because I didn't understand.
That's a perfect example. You can say, I was embarrassed when I fell down the stairs in front of everyone. Or, don't be embarrassed to ask questions. The opposite of embarrassed is confident.
Right. If you're confident, you feel sure of yourself and not embarrassed. We want you to feel confident asking for help in English.
Good point. Next word, stuck. When you're stuck, it means you can't continue or make progress. You're trapped in a situation or problem. Like when I was stuck trying to fix my computer. I couldn't figure it out and I couldn't move forward.
Perfect example. You can also say, I'm stuck in traffic when you can't move your car. Or I'm stuck on question 5 when you can't answer a test question.
So stuck is about being unable to move forward, either physically or with a problem.
Exactly. Third word, urgent. Something urgent needs immediate attention. it's important and can't wait.
So if I have an urgent message, I need to send it right away. If something is urgent at work, it's a high priority. You can say, "This is urgent. I need an answer today." Or, "It's not urgent. We can discuss it next week."
The opposite is non-urgent or not urgent, meaning it can wait.
Exactly. Fourth word, bother. To bother someone means to interrupt them or cause them inconvenience or trouble. We use this a lot in polite phrases. "Sorry to bother you," or "I don't mean to bother you."
Yes. When you say sorry to bother you, you're apologizing for interrupting or taking their time. You can also say, "This noise is bothering me," or "Does it bother you if I open the window?" So bother can be a verb, meaning to disturb or annoy someone.
Correct. Fifth word, clarify. This means to make something clear or easier to understand. If something is confusing, you ask someone to clarify it.
So instead of saying, "I don't understand," I could say, "Could you clarify that?" It sounds more professional.
Exactly. You can say, "Let me clarify what I meant." Or, "Just to clarify, we're meeting at 3 p.m., right?" That's useful in business situations.
What's next?
Sixth word, expertise. This means special knowledge or skill in a particular area. An expert has expertise. So if someone is good at computers, they have computer expertise. If someone is good at cooking, they have culinary expertise.
Perfect. You can say, "I value your expertise on this topic," or "We need someone with marketing expertise." It's a nice compliment to tell someone they have expertise in something.
Absolutely. Seventh word, guidance. This means help or advice, especially about what to do in a particular situation. A guide provides guidance.
So if I'm lost, I need guidance. If I'm confused about my career, I need career guidance. You can say, "Thank you for your guidance," or "I'm looking for guidance on how to apply to university."
It's similar to advice, but sounds more formal and professional.
Yes, they're very similar. Guidance often implies longer-term help or direction.
Eighth word, struggle. As a verb, to struggle means to have difficulty doing something. As a noun, a struggle is a difficult problem or challenge. We said, "I'm struggling with this assignment," meaning I'm having a hard time with it.
Right. You can also say, "She struggles with math," or "It's a struggle to wake up early." The word shows that something requires effort and is difficult.
So it's about facing challenges or difficulties.
Exactly. Ninth word, rephrase. This means to say something again using different words. You rephrase when someone doesn't understand you the first time.
So if I say "I'm famished" and someone looks confused, I can rephrase and say, "I mean I'm very hungry."
Perfect example. You can say, "Let me rephrase that," or "Could you rephrase your question?" It's a useful word when communication isn't clear.
Yes. 10th word, favor. A favor is a kind action that you do to help someone. When you do someone a favor, you help them. We use this all the time. "Could you do me a favor?" means, "Could you help me with something?"
Exactly. You can say, "Can I ask you a favor?" or "I need a favor." And when someone helps you, you can say, "Thank you for doing me this favor." And if you want to return the help, you can say, "I owe you a favor," meaning you'll help them in the future.
Great point. 11th word, appreciate. This means to be grateful for something or to recognize the value of something. So when someone helps me, I say, "I appreciate your help," to show I'm grateful.
Yes. You can also say, "I really appreciate it," or "I'd appreciate it if you could help me." It's a polite and warm way to show gratitude. It's more formal than just saying thanks.
Right. It's slightly more formal, but still friendly. And our final word, lifesaver. This is an informal word that means someone who helps you in a very important way, as if they saved your life. We use it as an exaggeration when someone really helps us out.
Like, "You're a lifesaver. I forgot my wallet and you paid for my lunch."
Perfect. You can also say, "This coffee is a lifesaver," to mean it's helping you a lot, maybe because you're very tired. It's a fun, friendly expression.
It is. Okay, let's quickly review all the vocabulary words we learned. Embarrassed, stuck, urgent, bother, clarify, expertise, guidance, struggle, rephrase, favor, appreciate, and lifesaver.
Those are all very useful words for asking for help and talking about help in general.
Absolutely. Our viewers should practice using these words in sentences.
Okay, Erika, that was a lot of talking about asking for help.
It really was, but I think it's such an important topic. We covered so much ground today.
We did. Let's recap everything so our viewers can remember the key points.
Good idea. First, we talked about the basic ways to ask for help. The simplest phrases are, "Can you help me?" for friends in casual situations, "Could you help me, please?" for more polite situations, and "Would you mind helping me?" for very polite or formal situations.
Right. And we learned that being specific is important. Don't just say, "Can you help me?" Explain what you need help with. Like, "Can you help me carry these boxes?" Or "Can you help me understand this report?"
Exactly. Then we talked about indirect ways to ask for help. Instead of directly asking, you can say, "I need some help with this," or "I could use some help." These are softer and less direct. We also learned the phrase, "I was wondering if you could help me," which is very polite and natural in English.
Yes. After that, we discussed asking for help in urgent situations. You can say, "I need your help right now," or "Sorry to bother you, but I really need your help," when something is urgent. And if someone is busy, be respectful and say, "When you have a moment, could you help me?" Or ask, "Are you busy right now?" first.
Good memory. Then we went through many specific situations. We learned how to ask for directions when you lost. "Excuse me, I'm lost. Could you help me find the train station?" Or "Could you point me in the right direction?"
We covered asking for help when you don't understand something. "Could you explain this to me?" Or "Could you clarify this?" And if someone is speaking too fast, say, "Could you slow down a bit?"
Right. We also talked about asking for help with physical tasks, using phrases like, "Could you give me a hand?" or "Could you lend me a hand?" Both mean "help me" in a casual way.
Then we discussed workplace situations. At work, you can say, "I could use your expertise," or "Could you give me some guidance?" And when talking to your boss, use phrases like, "Do you have a moment to discuss something?"
We covered students asking teachers for help too. Students can say, "I'm struggling with this assignment," or "Could I get some extra help after class?"
We talked about asking for help with technology, in stores and restaurants, and from strangers on the street. Always start with "Excuse me" when asking strangers.
We learned about asking for ongoing help and what to say if you need to ask the same person multiple times. "I'm sorry to ask again," or "I hate to keep bothering you."
And we discussed how to ask for help when English isn't your first language. Be honest. "I'm still learning English. Could you help me?" People are usually very understanding.
We also covered emergency phrases like "help" or "I need help," and small favor phrases like "Could you do me a small favor?"
Finally, we talked about thanking people for their help. Always say "Thank you so much," or "I really appreciate your help," and use "You're a lifesaver" when someone really helps you out.
The main lesson is this: don't be afraid to ask for help. Everyone needs help sometimes. Just be polite, be specific, and always show appreciation.
And remember, asking for help in English is easier than you think. Just use the phrases we taught you today.
Absolutely. Whether you're asking for directions, help at work, or help from a friend, you now have all the tools you need.
Now we want to hear from you. This is our favorite part of every episode.
Yes, we love reading your comments and learning about your experiences. So our question of the day is, what is a situation where you needed to ask for help in English? What did you say? And did the person help you?
That's a great question. Let me answer first. I remember when I was traveling in Japan. I don't speak Japanese, so I had to use English. I got lost trying to find my hotel. I stopped a person on the street and said, "Excuse me, I'm lost. Do you know where the Sakura Hotel is?" The person was very kind and walked with me for 5 minutes to show me where it was.
That's so nice. People are usually very helpful when you ask politely. My example is from work. I had to ask my colleague for help with a presentation. I said, "Hi Maria, I'm working on the Q3 presentation and I could really use your expertise on the sales data. Do you have time to help me?" She said yes, and we worked on it together. It turned out great.
See? We have different situations, but we both ask for help successfully. And that's okay. Everyone's experience is different.
Exactly. So, viewers, we want to know about you. Think about a time you asked for help in English. Where were you? What did you need help with? What did you say? Did the person help you?
You can write something like, I was at a train station and I needed directions. I said, excuse me, how do I get to platform 5? The person pointed me in the right direction. Or, I asked my teacher for help with homework. I said, I'm struggling with this math problem. Could you explain it again? My teacher helped me understand it.
Don't worry about making mistakes in your comment. The important thing is to practice writing in English. We read all the comments, and it helps us understand what kind of videos you need. If many people have trouble asking for help in stores, maybe we'll make a video specifically about that topic.
So please tell us in the comments. Write, I ask for help when, and then share your story. We can't wait to read them.
And who knows, your comment might help another viewer who has the same question or experience. We're all learning together.
All right, everyone. We're coming to the end of today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching. We hope this video helped you feel more confident about asking for help in English.
Erika, if you enjoyed this lesson, please give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps us. And if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and the little bell notification so you won't miss our new videos. We post new lessons every day.
We have so many more topics coming up. Next time, we're going to talk about giving advice in English.
That's right. And remember, you are all great students. Learning a language takes time and practice, but you're doing an amazing job. Keep practicing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn.
And remember, asking for help is not a weakness. It's actually a strength.
Well said, Marco. The more you practice these phrases, the more natural they will become. Soon, asking for help in English will feel easy and comfortable.
So keep watching our videos, keep practicing, and keep improving. You've got this.
Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.